Hey guys, welcome back to Kal-El Soups 808. So we have another Superman statue to talk about. In this video I'm going to be expressing my thoughts on the upcoming Superman and Lois Lane diorama from Sideshow Collectibles. Guys, if you like content like this, don't forget to do all the usual great stuff, like hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and thanks very much. And before we get into it, just a very quick message for my fellow Canadians out there. So I'm a proud Canadian and I love our country, but I'm also a collector, and as a collector we get boned on shipping, taxes, wait times, etc. What's the solution? Well, thank you for asking, mon frere. Starbase Collectibles is that solution. Founded in 2013, this Alberta business is your source for hot toys, Sideshow, Prime 1, PCS, and other high-end collectibles. Starbase Collectibles was created with the sole intention of giving us Canadians a bit of a break. So guys, join the thousands of collectors, myself included, who have benefited from lower prices on collectibles, all thanks to Starbase. So guys, if you're in Alberta or if you're in Canada in general, check out Starbase Collectibles. They are an awesome company and you are very, very likely to save some money. And who doesn't like to save money? So follow Starbase Collectibles on Facebook and feel free to contact via email at starbasecollectibles@yahoo.ca. And with that said, let's get back into the video. So my apologies guys, I've been away for a couple of weeks, that's why I've not done a video just recently, but this is a nice one to come back to and do. As you know, I'm a huge Superman fan. Sideshow have just put out this pre-order for this Superman and Lois Lane diorama. Now there's no exact scale, they're not saying whether it's 4th, 5th, but I think it's more 5th scale, and I'll go into the reasons why. Straight away, out of the bat, I'll tell you this is $700 US for this guy, and it's going to be about 22 inches tall. I think this is a little bit expensive for what it is, and I'll go into the reasons why. But overall, it's a nice looking statue. I do have some minor gripes though. So first of all, in terms of the concept, it's a decent concept, but it's nothing we haven't seen before. There's no shortage of these Superman and Lois Lane statues, as you can see here, and they all have a very similar theme. He's flying with her, and it's always above the Daily Planet there. You know, I get why, but my very first thought when I saw this was, use a little bit of imagination, guys. Let's have something a little bit different if you're going to do Superman and Lois, but no, in typical Sideshow fashion, they're not using a great deal of imagination, they're just kind of rehashing a familiar concept. However, it's not all bad. Let's go into the good things about this statue. And we'll actually start with the base and work our way up. So as I mentioned, this is floating above the Daily Planet. Now, the sculpting on the base I think is really cool. Classic Daily Planet. The one thing they've done a little bit different is they've put that kind of like futuristic monorail thing in there with Metropolis like kind of popping out of the back of the globe. I kind of like that. I think the monorail edition is it's their way of being a little bit different. It is not much different, not that much imagination, but it's something a little bit different, and I'm clinging on to the good here. I've heard one or two people online criticize it about how the Metropolis is too cartoony and that the statue itself is too cartoony. Well, Superman came from comic books, guys, so I have no problem with it being cartoony or comic book-like because that's the source material. I don't need Metropolis to look like real buildings back there. It's just the base. I don't want it to detract from the piece. So there is something to be said about the simplicity of those buildings in Metropolis there in the background. I like that. And I do like the coloration scheme where it's kind of blue near the base, and then it goes like purpley and into the oranges and reds as you go up to kind of represent the like sunset. That to me is really, really nice. Yeah, so despite a bit of a lack of imagination, there are some really nice things about that base. Okay, and so let's move up. So first of all, I love the boots. I think they've done his boots really, really nice. As we move up, we've got his classic costume with the trunks, which is, you know, comic accurate. That's how I like my Superman. A lot of people don't like, especially new guys today, who are just getting familiar with the character because of Henry Cavill and whatnot. People don't like the trunks. I love the trunks. It's classic Superman. It really breaks up the costume. The coloration is lovely. The paint apps look fantastic from this prototype. Bear in mind this is just a prototype and production usually does change, as we saw with the last Superman statue that Sideshow did, the Christopher Reeve premium format. Absolute dumpster fire of a statue. I'm sorry guys if you like it or own it. I hope you're happy with it, but check my video out. I did a whole video on it previously. But this video isn't about that piece, it's about the diorama here. So the flow of the cape there, the paint apps on that look fantastic. I love the sculpt on that cape. Classic yellow S shield on the back there. I love the way it just kind of flows in front of his right foot there. I do have a very slight problem with the way the cape joins at his right shoulder. I just think that is an unnecessary flaw. That should sit closer to the front of his collar and shouldn't look like it's kind of flicking up. It should look attached, and it looks kind of detached and flimsy. I don't like that. Not for a $700 statue. And if we look at the tweeter head, which is about $350, way cheaper, very slightly smaller, but this is the way the cape should sit around the neck, kind of like tucked into his collar and not kind of flicking up. And my other criticism while we're focusing on that right shoulder is that damn seam. Like, that is a really bad seam. If the engineering on this piece is such that that arm does need to come off, I think they could have done a much better job of hiding that seam, just like with the tweeter head one. Again, a much cheaper Superman statue. As you can see here, the seam on his arm just looks a lot cleaner. I'm sure you'll agree there. So for a price point of double what the tweeter head costs, I would have expected a little bit better. Again, though, this is only the prototype, but usually the prototype is the superior statues, so but take that for what it's worth. But I really do love the way he's holding Lois in his arms there. I love the fact that a shoe on the left foot's kind of like hanging off. And I really do like the colour scheme on Lois's outfit, the nice little brown pencil skirt with her blouse that she wears. And I like the colour choice because it really doesn't interfere with Clark's suit too much. There's a nice colour contrast. I absolutely love the sculpt on both the faces and the hair, the way her hair's flowing in the wind there. And she's got the same kind of like blue hues in her hair that Superman has. I love his S-curl. I love the depth in the eyes. Now, if I mentioned about prototype versus production earlier, quite often with Sideshow, not only Sideshow but many other companies as well, that production doesn't always equal prototype. Sometimes they lose a little bit of quality, but if they can produce in their production pieces this look in the face, then I'm a fan. They've got a really, really nice, cartoonish and comic book-ish, but I don't have a problem with that look. I really, really dig it. Because as I said, guess what? Superman is a comic book character. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is 22 inches in height. It's going to have a width of 11.22 inches and a depth of 8.95 inches. And this is made of polystone. So yeah, I think this is going to be more like 1/5 scale. The tweeter head one is advertised as 1/6 scale, and it's only like 2 inches smaller than this. So I'm going to say it's 1/5. But what I will say is as well, is the tweeter head one, like I keep saying, was $350 US. This is $700, so this is literally double the price, and it's only a couple of inches more. I guess because of Lois Lane. And the extra little bit of polystone that's required for her, but I don't know. Given the quality of the tweeter head compared to the quality of this, like I said, the shoulder seam and the cape there, which are the only two real flaws I have with this piece. To be honest, I think the rest looks pretty much bang on. I don't know that this Sideshow diorama here is worth literally double the tweeter head. I don't know. But if you're willing to pay $700 for this and this approximately 5th scale statue, then good for you. There's a lot going on with it that is good in my opinion. A couple of really bad things. But honestly, I don't have a problem with the base. I don't have a problem with the cartoony kind of comic book element of it, like some people seem to have. I really like the sculpt. There's a lot I like about it. I just really don't like the way that cape sits on his right shoulder, and I don't like that right shoulder seam. What do you think, guys? Let me know in your comments section below what you think. Be interested to know what you guys think. Are you going to be getting this? Let me know. Also, guys, if you enjoy content like this, as usual, if you haven't clicked that like button already, I really do appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. And also, if you're not subscribed, if you do like content like this, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any future content. And don't forget, guys, if you do live in Canada and you are interested in purchasing this or any other Sideshow pieces, check out Stylized Collectibles. You might be able to pick it up for a little bit cheaper. And with that said, guys, thank you so much, and I will catch you in the next video.